guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a blush and bronzer declutter, and don't expect me to get rid of a ton of stuff because as you can see I really don't have a super high amount, but there's definitely some things I'm looking at here that I do feel like I can part with. So if you guys would like to see what I end up decluttering, just keep on watching. Okay, so I have my little box over here for anything that I'm going to be decluttering, and we're going to start with the bronzers because there's less in here and I think it'll be easier to get through. So I'm just going to start grabbing stuff and go over what I feel. This first product is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is actually fairly new to me. I really like it. I like the tone of it, and I feel like I could definitely get some more use out of it because it is, like I said, very new to me. So I'm going to be keeping this guy. This next bronzer over here is a deluxe size sample of the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I really don't use this one too often because I have another deluxe size sample in a palette that I'm currently panning. So once that one's gone though, I think I want to continue using it, so I am going to hold on to this guy as well. And over here next we have this Pure Mineral Glow. This bronzer has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's definitely very warm, and I don't know, I haven't really given it a try just yet, but it's really, really warm. You know, I think I'm gonna actually pass this on to someone else. I just think there's too much sheen in there, and for it being as warm as it is, I don't see myself using this. So I am gonna put this into a pile to pass on. Next we have this NYX HD blush in the shade Taupe, and I used to use this religiously as a contour shade because it really has a nice gray tone, very cool toned hue to it, which makes it fantastic for contouring. But lately I've been into cream contours and I just never reach for this anymore, so I think somebody else will get more use out of this than I would, so I'm actually going to pass this one along as well. This next bronzer right here, I cannot get in the United States anymore, which makes me so sad because I love this bronzer. This is the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in the shade Sunny. I've used this a lot. You can definitely see a good dip in there. This is just the perfect bronzer for me and my skin tone. It's not too warm, but it's not too cool. It just gives the perfect amount of warmth to my face, and I really enjoy it. So this guy is definitely not going anywhere, and if you guys know where I can pick this up, please let me know because I would love to have another backup of this guy. Okay, this next one is by Tarte, and this is a deluxe size sample of the Tarte Hotel Heiress bronzer. And at first, when I got this, I thought it was the Park Avenue Princess, but it's not. It's the Hotel Heiress, which, let's find a place to swatch here. It's really, really red toned, so it is warm, but it's got a red tone to it. I honestly haven't been able to put this to use yet, and I really would like to try it out before getting rid of it. So I'm going to put this into kind of like my chopping block area where I need to test products out. So I'm going to put that guy in my test area, and if I decide to declutter it, I will let you know. Next up we have the infamous Hoola bronzer by Benefit. This is brand new, literally. I just bought it. I think I only ever swatched it. I wanted to get through the bronzer I was using now before I started playing with this, and I haven't been able to start playing with this, so I'm definitely going to hold on to it. It's definitely a cult classic and a favorite of many people, so I'm excited to actually get into it and start using it. So I am going to hold on to it just because, like I said, it is brand new. This right here is by Physicians Formula, and this is the Mineral Wear Mineral Loose Powder Bronzer. I used to go crazy for this. That's why it's so janky and old. This is a really old packaging, and the bronzer itself I used to love, but now I don't know, it's got a sheen to it, like a really strong gold sheen to it, and I just don't feel like this packaging is worth keeping. Plus it's really, really old, and it's just time. It's time to let it go, so I am going to pass this one along as well. And here we have an Ulta Beauty Matte Bronzer, and this one is in the shade Cool. This one, again, is brand new. I've only ever swatched it with my finger, and I love this bronzer. I have it in a mini size that I got as a gift with purchase, and I fell in love with it. So I definitely am going to be holding on to this one and putting it to the test a little bit more because I feel like that would be such a perfect shade for the months where my skin's a little bit lighter because it's not too heavy and it's definitely not too warm. So I do definitely want to hold on to this. I love this powder. And I'm grouping my Kat Von D Shade Light palette into this category as well, and sorry to break your hearts, it is brand new. I I've only recently purchased it. So this also is going to stay because I haven't even been able to really give it a good try. So this guy is staying as well. So here's our giveaway pile for bronzers. I'm only getting rid of 3, but I mean, I only started out with about 10. So I think maybe, you know, about a third of my bronzers isn't too bad when I only have a small collection. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. And here's what we're going to be keeping as far as bronzers go. So like I said, I'm okay with this number of bronzers because each one of them is just a little bit different in tone. And this technically isn't a bronzing palette. It is more of a contour palette. So if you think about it that way, to have, you know, 6 bronzers, that really isn't too bad. This guy's going to be hitting pan pretty soon, and these are deluxe size samples. So I'm comfortable with this. I'm comfortable with this amount. I had forgotten to look at the Tarte Pro Glow. This isn't going anywhere. I just had it over here to show you. This cream contour is amazing. And then we have a beautiful powder over here for like sculpting. And then these 4 are highlighters. So I just wanted to bring this in because of the bronzers, and I will definitely be keeping this. I'm not going to include this in my highlight declutter either because I already know that I definitely want to keep it. So this guy stays with. Okay, on to my blushes. Oh, let's go with the big guy first. This is my Morphe 9B blush palette, and I love this. It has just a bunch of different colors that are super wearable, go with every eye look. It's just a really nice variety, one and done type of blush palette. They're pigmented, they're beautiful. So this guy is still fairly new to me, and I absolutely love it. So I'm using this guy as a reference for my other blushes to see if I have anything that kind of match it, I can get rid of them. So this is kind of like my baseline for that. Okay, the next blush we have over here is by Unique, and this is the only one that I have by Unique, and this is the Moodstruck Minerals Pressed Blush in the shade Sweet. And I love this blush, you guys. It is so pigmented. So beautiful. This is one of my favorite blushes, so this guy definitely stays. Plus this pan is huge and comes with so much product, and you get a mirror, which is nice too. The packaging is really nice, so definitely keeping this guy. Moving over here to the BH Cosmetics Floral Blush Duo Cheek Color, and this one's in the shade Caribbean Coral. And this one is really neat because you have a pinky tone over here, more of a peach over here. I just swirl my brush in the entire thing, and I really like this in the summertime. It's a beautiful peachy pinky goodness. It doesn't look anything like Sweet. This is way more like peachy in pink, and this is a little more deep pinky, almost berry shade. So I definitely want to keep this as well. Oh my God, these hiccups. I definitely want to keep this as well because this blush is really, really nice and super affordable. If you are looking for a blush, I would definitely check out BH Cosmetics. This next blush I got in a subscription service from, I think it was Ipsy, and this is the Manicadar Beauty Blush, Paradise Blush. This blush is very, very shimmery, almost to the point of an eyeshadow. And I thought about using it as an eyeshadow because it was so shifty from pink to gold. I think like NARS Orgasm, but that is a really strong shift. So I can't really imagine that being on the cheeks, being so shifty and so strong. Focus. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I kind of want to put this on the chopping block, but at the same time, I mean, I have so many blushes in my collection that having a little one like this really doesn't do me any good. So I you know what? No, I'm just let it go, Shai. I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to donate this to the women's shelter. This is in the shade Tea Rose, which is just a really beautiful everyday kind of pinky shade. And I really like this blush. I love the formula of these blushes in general. They blend out absolutely beautifully. So it's right here. That's the same color, by the way. Those 2 blush swatches are exactly the same. But I don't know. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because I do have a couple others that I might want more than this. So we're going to put this guy in the maybe pile over here. This next blush right here is also by Milani, and it's the Blossom Time Rose. This one has that gold sheen to it, just like the Manicadar, but this one's not as bold and vibrant of a golden sheen, so it's much more wearable in my opinion. It's really, really pretty, so I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. I think this is gorgeous in the summertime. And it's very, very reminiscent of NARS's Orgasm. So this guy I'm definitely holding on to. Now that I'm looking at Blossom Time Rose and Tea Rose, I know they look very, very different. But when you swatch these out together, they basically have the exact same undertone. This one just has that gold in it, which gives it more of a warmer finish. But in person, these actually look almost identical. So I think I'm actually going to pass Tea Rose on and keep Blossom Time Rose. This next Milani blush is in the shade Coral Cove. And this is a very, very bright coral. I don't really know why I purchased this. This is not normally a color I would go for because I mean, I like pinky peachy blushes, but that's pretty coral. That's pretty coral. I don't really see myself ever using this. If I'm going to use a coral, I would go for the BH Cosmetics one. So I'm going to also pass this one along. My last Milani blush is going to be the shade Romantic Rose, and this one is my favorite out of all of them. This is just a perfect everyday neutral. You have to build it up, which I like. You have to really build it up, and it's just like the most natural looking blush ever. It literally would take me probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 swipes just to get it to show up on my arm so you guys could see the color of it. It is absolutely perfect though for every single day. It goes with every eye look. I love it. I love it. So this is definitely staying with me. Okay, this next blush is actually a blush palette. It's a quad by e.l.f. and this one is in the shade Light. Okay, so it looks like this. Now these pans do pop out, by the way, so if you have multiple like quads of e.l.f. blushes, you can actually pop these pans out and put new ones in, but I don't know. I feel like I have every shade in here in my Morphe palette, which I like the formulation of the Morphe one better. So I'm just gonna do a quick side by side and see. Now this shade right here, I would never wear. It is too bright on me. I'm very fair and that would show up way too stark on me. This shade right here reminds me a lot of Becca's Wild Honey, which I also have as a full size. And I feel like it's just too orange compared to what I am normally used to. Like this kind of shade, I feel like this one is just too orange. So these e.l.f. blushes are great, but they're very pigmented and I just don't see myself reaching for those types of colors in this palette. And then if you go to the bottom, these two, this one's very reminiscent of the Unique one that I'm keeping, and then this one is also it has pieces of glitter in it, and I'm not all about that glitter life. So I just feel like I'm never going to consciously reach for this blush, and I just don't feel like keeping a palette that's taking up space when I'm not using it. So I hate to do it, but e.l.f., you are going to go to a new home. Moving along. We're doing good, Shay. We're doing good. Keep it up. Keep up the momentum. Okay, this next one here is by Makeup Revolution. I had 2 of these. I actually just decluttered one of these not too long ago. It's in the shade Beloved or Beloved, however you want to say it. This is just a super soft, light, peachy shade. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just the most beautiful, natural looking blush ever. So this is one of my holy grail blushes. It's not going anywhere ever. This next blush is by Tarte, and this was the birthday gift from Sephora, the shade Party. I love this blush, you guys. I really do. This blush is gorgeous. This is another great everyday peachy pinky kind of blush. So I live for these colors. I love this formula. It definitely is not going to go anywhere because it is a deluxe size sample and I really want to be able to use this up. So that guy is going to stay. This is brand new to me. I just got this in a Sephora Play box and I literally just put the video up. This also is kind of reminiscent of NARS Orgasm where it has that gold shift, but this is really unique because it's not a deeper pink. It's more of a pale peachy color. It's got that same gold shimmery shift. I do feel like I want to hold on to this and give it a try because I've never used a Makeup Forever blush and I would definitely like to give my thoughts on it. So this guy can stay at a default. I'm keeping a lot, but I didn't have a lot to begin with, so please keep that in mind. There'll be other categories where way more things are going to be decluttered. I just really didn't have a lot to start with. So this next blush, I actually repressed this because it shattered before I even got to use it. So this is Dirty Little Secrets blush in the shade Kitty Pink. Again, my perfect blush. It really is. It's my perfect blush. I love the formulation of it, and it's just a neutral, everyday kind of blush. So I'm gonna hold on to this one too. As you guys already have seen in my favorites videos, Best of Beauty, Hidden Gems at the Drugstore, I talk about this blush all the time. This is by Wet n Wild and this is in the shade The Princess Daiquiris. It is a gorgeous, just peachy, pinky, very subtle blush. So this guy will never leave my sight ever because it's one of my favorites of all time. Okay, let's talk about Pacifica. I really like Pacifica as a brand. I like the idea of having better for you ingredients, everything like that, but these blushes I never reach for. Plus, if I look at my Morphe palette here, if you notice, I have this exact same color in the Morphe palette as well as pretty much this one. So I feel like I don't reach for this ever because I don't. They're great formulation. They are very pigmented. They're beautiful. They're nice and soft, but they already have them in my Morphe palette, so I think I can pass this on to a better home. And last but not least, we have the cult classic Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. And you would probably have to pry this from my cold, dead hands because this is like amazing. You literally get the most beautiful, glowy, peachy goodness out of this blush. There's a reason why it's talked about so much still, and it was for so long. This blush is incredible. I love it, love it, love it. So it is not going anywhere. So here's the finished declutter. I think I did pretty good. I mean, considering how few I had, I'm still getting rid of 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 blushes and keeping 3, 6, 9, 10, and then a bunch. I feel really good. Overall, I feel like I've really cut down my collection to things that I know I'm going to reach for and I'm not just going to have sitting around waiting to be reached for. So I'm happy with the progress. I really am. This is a big step for me. I really enjoy my makeup. Letting anything go is very hard for me. So I feel really good that all of these products are going to be going to the women's shelter or friends and family and have good homes. So that is it for my bronzer and blush declutter, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep an eye out for the next part of the series. I will be going through my entire makeup collection and doing declutters for the new year. So keep tuned. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy declutters and if you would like to see more of them. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!